Hi guys, this is our lecture on the archetypal hero, and we will be answering the question, what do Luke Skywalker, Simba, King Arthur, Moses, and William Wallace all have in common? Remember, the archetypes are one of the lenses through which we will view all the literature in this course. So let's get started. The archetypal hero appears in all religions, mythologies, and stories of the world. He is an expression of our personal and collective unconscious, as theorized by Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell. All archetypal heroes share certain characteristics. This fact has only come to light this century, after many people like Joseph Campbell began comparing mythologies of the world. Heroes are constructions. They are not real. All societies have similar hero stories, not because they coincidentally made them up on their own, but because heroes express a deep psychological aspect of human existence. They can be seen as a metaphor for the human search of self-knowledge. In other words, the hero shows us the path to our own consciousness through his actions. Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell are two of the most prominent explorers of psychoanalytical and mythological origins for human and social behavior. Carl Jung expanded the work of Sigmund Freud and the unconscious mind to emphasize the mythological forces working within the individual to shape his or her personality. Jung formed the concept of archetype and collective unconscious to explain the commonality of dream images and situations found in all people. So if you're into psychology, this is kind of up your alley, but it's really interesting when we start reading in literature about archetypes. Jung believed individual and social behavior and thought have their roots in a common palette of characters and situations the mind retains from the early human consciousness development. To Jung, the archetypal hero represents the psyche's quest for individuation, the process that makes each person unique. And then over there we've got Joseph Campbell. He built on Carl Jung's concepts to encompass all the world's mythologies. Campbell studied the world's religions, art, and stories and discovered common threads throughout all, including the hero. Campbell believed that mythology is the collective dream of mankind, the song of the universe. Campbell's work highlights mankind's common search, both personally and socially, for meaning and truth through the ages. Simply put, an archetype is a recurring pattern of character, symbol, or situation found in the mythology, religion, and stories of all cultures. Both men, Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell, felt that the experience of being human can be examined collectively across time, space, and culture, and that our commonality can be traced to the most primitive origins of the human consciousness, where the archetypal themes originate in modern men and women. In literary criticism, archetypes are those images, figures, character types, settings, and story patterns that are universally shared by people across cultures. Jung believed that archetypes are embedded deep in humanity's collective unconscious. So when an author tells a story or a narrative based on such unconscious memories, the reader's mind is subconsciously stirred, producing a powerful psychological effect because memories evoke primordial feelings, concerns, and responses that cannot be logically explained. Campbell relates these archetypes to myths, which he believes can teach you how to live under any circumstance. He asserts that archetypes transverse cultures. We relate to these archetypal patterns. That's why they're so powerful. So we read these stories, and they tend to have this common pattern. But the point of them is to teach us how to live. If we were put in any circumstance or any situation, we would know how to survive based on what that hero did. So humans didn't invent archetypes, but they do express archetypes in the conscious world of art, literature, and religion. Therefore, the hero is not someone out there in the world. The hero is all of us in our need to grow and mature. It's really interesting. So these are archetypal hero traits that we're going to look at in all those guys, Luke Skywalker, Simba, Moses, William Wallace, and Arthur, but we'll get to that later. Let's talk about the hero's journey, the steps in the hero's journey. In your notes, you have the descriptions of each step. I'll let you read over those, and I'll give you the names of them. So the first one is the ordinary world. This is where we first meet our hero, and it sets the stage for the hero being just a normal guy like us. The second is the call to adventure. The third is refusal of the call. the hero typically says, no, I don't want to get into this situation, or I'm not able to, or why did you choose me? Meeting the mentor, or sometimes you'll see that as the hero receiving supernatural help. And then there's crossing the threshold. So this is when the hero moves from his ordinary world and he accepts the call and he goes into his special world where he will complete a series of tasks. The sixth one is tests, allies, and enemies. This is where the hero meets people and figures out whom he can trust and whom he cannot. 7 is the approach to the inmost cave. This is where they face a challenge in the special world. There's an ordeal. That's number 8. He faces his death or his greatest fear. Number 9 is the reward. The hero finally gets to take possession of his treasure. Number 10, the road back. He's got to go back home, back to the ordinary world. And he takes the treasure or the reward with him. Sometimes you see it called the elixir. So treasure, reward, elixir, they're all kind of interchangeable terms. Then there's a resurrection. That's typically the climax of the story. And you can read there how the hero somehow goes through some sort of death and rebirth. And then the last stage is he returns home with the reward or the elixir. And that's how he finishes the story. And that's where we know that the hero really has been transformed. So this is just a brief overview of archetypes. We'll continue talking about how some of these stages are seen across many different types of stories.